Hi, I'm John and welcome to my channel. In today's spray paint art video I'm going to be showing you what the differences between high pressure spray paint and low pressure spray paint. So for this high pressure versus low pressure spray paint art tutorial I'm going to be using Montana White, which is a high pressure spray paint and has a high gloss finish. And for the low pressure spray paint I'm going to be using Montana Gold, which is an acrylic spray paint and has a semi-gloss finish to it. I'm going to be using the same caps on all the cans, which is a gold cap and is a stock cap for the Montana Gold cans. I'm going to be painting on some glossy paper. I'm going to be using some food tub lids for my lid stencils for the planet. I'm going to be using this cone shaped food tub with a hole in the bottom. I'm going to be using this piece of card, but I've just put a hole in the middle. And I'm going to be using some weights to hold the lid stencils in place while I do the background. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get the lid stencils, place them on the sheet where you want your planets to go. So I'm going to have them there, and then we'll grab a colour and just spray round them. Like that. So before I move on, I'm just going to answer a quick question about why I put the lid stencil down first and spray round it. The only reason why I do that is give you a rough guide of where the planet's going to go in your painting. So if you're doing more than one planet, you just put the lid stencils down and it just gives you a rough idea of where the planets are going to go, so you don't spray all over a sheet and waste paint. So now we've sprayed around the lid stencils, we'll fill in the outlines with some colours. So first one, I'm going to use the high pressure spray paint. And like I said, I've got the same caps on all these cans, which is a gold stock cap from the Montana Gold cans. So the Montana Gold cap that I'm using on these cans is just reducing the flow of paint a bit, because the high pressure spray paint pushes the paint out a lot faster, the valve system does. And with the gold caps on them, it's just reducing the flow of paint coming out, because it's a thinner cap. You've seen some of my previous videos that I've posted recently where I've done videos on something versus something. If you go back and watch that, I explain about the fat caps and stuff like that. So now we'll put some more colours down. A bit of black. Bit of white. And the stuff I'm going to be using to make the texture is some of this sheet, just from a big plastic bag that I've cut up so it's easier to use in the painting. So all I'm going to do is make some creases in it to give you some texture. So I'm going to place it on the painting. I'm going to put a bit of weight on here just to hold this sheet a minute. I'm just going to pull it back a bit. If it'll go, it's going slowly. Just put some lines and stuff in it. So I quite like the texture on that, so I'm going to leave it like that. So put the highlight and shadows on it. So press the cap down lightly for your highlight. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to add a bit of darker brown here. And a bit of black. So the valve system is pushing the paint out faster, you can hear it. Pushing it faster, I'm only pressing the cap down lightly here. So that one's done, so I'll leave that one to dry for a bit while I move on to this one. So we'll go on to a low pressure spray paint now, the spray paint cans. So we'll fill the outline in with this one. So these are the stock caps with these Montana Gold. I don't really use them that much. I prefer using other caps when doing spray paint art, because for some reason these gold caps seem to spit a lot. As you can see there, these are fresh caps on here, and as you can see they're spitting quite a lot. I don't know why they do that. But it seems to spit more with this Montana Gold than it does with the white. So the low pressure spray cans are pushing the paint out less. As you can see, there's quite a bit of spitting from these caps. So put some weight on this one. I'm going to do the same texture thing as I did on that one. So push it down, rub it a bit. I'm just going to pull it a bit. And just go over it a bit like that with your hands, lightly, if you want. So now we'll move on to highlights and shadows. So highlights first. So press the cap down lightly when you do need to highlight. In fact, I might put a bit of yellow on this. As you can see, I'm pressing the cap down lightly and it has spat a bit. A few dots here and there. So that's highlight done. Now I'm going to put some shadow on it. So I'm going to use a bit of a red first, places, and then the black. So I'm pressing the cap down lightly here. So now we have the highlights and shadows on both of the planets. We're going to have to leave these to dry for a bit. Say 20-30 minutes. Depending on the weather, it might take only 15 minutes to dry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a heat gun to speed up the process of the drying time. So all you want to do with this heat gun is just hold it about a foot above it and just spray and just blast it in places. Don't hover too much over one spot, because you'll burn the paint and it'll start to bubble. Right then, both of these are dry now. As you can see, I can place my hand on both of them and they're both dry. So now it's time to put the lid stencils back on. So don't forget when putting your lid stencil on to place a bit over the shadowed area and over the highlighted area as well. So place that one there, and I'll place that one there like that. So like I said, I'm going to be putting weights on here. These are going to hold the lid stencil down and also stop any underspray going underneath the lid stencil. And also, this is why I tell you to let the paint dry before placing your lid stencils on, because putting weights on your lid stencils pushes the lid stencils into the paint more. So if you are wet and you put the weights on, you'll definitely have rings around your planets when you take your lid stencils off later on. So now we'll move on to the background. So for this, I'm just going to spray it all black. So we'll go around the lid stencils first lightly while pressing it. Pressing the cap down lightly. And then we'll fill all the background in black. I'm quite surprised how well this Montana White's working with these gold caps on them. There doesn't seem to be much spitting off it. First time using the Montana White with these gold caps, and I'm really impressed with how they're working on them cans. So now we'll go to the low pressure spray paint. Do the same, spray round it. Lid stencil lightly. And then we'll fill the rest of the sheet in black. So as you can see, both of these caps are working pretty much the same. The pressure in the cans are working about the same. Laying about as much paint out as each other. So when you are making spray paint harder than that, and you have got an high pressure can, it's best off to put like a skinnier cap on it to let less paint out. The valve system will still be pushing more paint out with it being an high pressure valve system, but the cap will reduce the flow of the paint coming out. So then you get less paint. Whereas if you were using a fat cap on these high pressure spray cans, you'd have big wide lines and loads of paint coming out. So now we've got both of these black. I'm just going to put a bit of mist in the background, some colours. So first of all, we use a dark brown. And I'm just going to mist it. I'm going to see if he's spit as well while I'm just misting. So I'm just going to put a bit of like this dark brown in places. Not much. And I'm going to put a bit of a lighter colour in. So this is spitting a bit, these cans, and I'm spraying it a bit lighter. But that doesn't matter, it can be stars. So like that, and what I'm going to do with this light colours, I'm just going to spray around the lid stencil a bit. And if you do go too far around your lid stencil, or you want to colour a bit up, you can just get the black and lightly sprayed in places just to fade a bit of the colour out. That's the beauty with spray paint. If you make a mistake, you can always go back over it. And just put a bit more this dark in places. Around the outside, I think. So I'm liking that. So there are the colours in the background using the high pressure spray paint. Now we'll move on to a low pressure spray paint. So just do the same, mist a few colours in the background. So a bit of red first, dark red places. Just to break the background up a bit. And I'll go to the next red, lighter red. As you can see, these are spitting as well, but the gold spray paint seems to spit more. Like I said earlier on in the video, I don't know why it does that. For this one, I'm going to have a bit of yellow, I think, around that. So same, just spray towards the lid, lightly. I quite like that. I might just put a bit of yellow down here. And just go back to the red. It's up to you what you put in your background. And just a bit of black in places, just break it up a bit. And also when you're spray painting, there's no rush when you're doing it. Just take your time and enjoy what you're painting. Enjoy the process. Right, so now there are the colours in the background. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a few big stars in there first. No, I'm not. First of all, I'm going to put the small stars in there. So with the white, we're going to spray some on our fingers. Like that. And then once you get some on your fingers, flick it away a few times from your painting. And then flick the rest on your sheet. That way you don't get big white blobs on your painting that don't look like stars. So a few more. So I like that. So I'm just going to wipe this paint off my finger so I don't mix it with the Montana Gold. So same process, grab the gold, the low pressure spray paint, put it on your fingers, flick away a few times and then flick the rest on the sheet. I think doing it this way with your stars, flicking them off your finger, gives you more control of where you want your stars to go, instead of just spraying them straight out of a spray can. So I like that. So there the small stars done, both of the painting. So now what we'll do now is we'll move on to this, the big piece of card first, the round piece of card with the hole in the middle. This is going to be used to make some bigger stars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a lighter brown. I'm just going to put a couple of big stars in there. I think I might have one there, so we'll just spray through it so you get something like that on your sheet. And then I'll put one up here, I think. Like that. Now I'll move on to this one, and I'm going to go, I think a red one here. Same, just spray through the middle. And then I think one there as well. Like that. So now what we're going to do is, I get asked a lot of questions about this, what I use to put the middles of the stars in. So all this is a food tub, a cone shaped food tub, and all I've done is put a hole in the bottom. So what you do with this is, I'm going to get a lighter colour now. I'm just going to spray in the middle of the colour I just put down. And then over here. And then for this one I'm going to do a yellow middle, I think. So just spray it light. And then light there. And then you can also do a few other stars. You could do some white stars, bigger white stars. So hold it about 2-3 inches above the painting and just spray through it lightly. I'll put one there. And one there. So I'll just do the same on this one, the low pressure spray cans. So you can use these kind of tools to restrict the flow of paint going onto your painting. Put one there and then one up here. So I like that. So there are them bigger stars put in there, nice colourful stars. You can also use coloured paints to do this as well. So you could grab this, well, let's say this one. We could just put a coloured star in there, like that, and maybe one there. And we'll use we'll just put a couple of yellow stars in on their own. You can put one there, and I'll just put one there. So you can use that with any colour you want to do your stars. And also another tip as well for doing stars, what you can do is, now you've got your two colours down for these bigger stars, you can get like a paint pen or something. What you can do is just put a small white dot in the middle of them. You can also do it with these, so the stars look as though they're glowing as well now. So you've got the mist or whatever in the background and the white in the middle, so it looks like these stars are glowing. So we'll just go around this one here, the low pressure one, and press them all down like that. So I'm liking them stars, really like them stars, nice glowy stars. So now that's all the background done, we're going to take the lid stencils off. So first of all we'll take these weights off. And hopefully these haven't stuck. So I'm just going to hold the sheet down a bit. So that's the first one. Really like how that one's turned out. Now we'll go on to this one, the low pressure one. So just take your time with these lid stencils, there's no rush on that one. So I'm really liking how that one's turned out as well. So we have the lid stencils off and I'm really happy with the way these paintings have turned out. I really love the colours on the planets and in the background, and I really like the glowing stars. But as you can see around each of the planets here, where I put the atmosphere, the colour up against the planet, you can see like a bit of a black line between the planet and the atmosphere, the colour. The only reason why that has happened is because I never sprayed the paint close enough to the lid stencil. If I'd have done that, there wouldn't have been a black line around these planets. But I'm still really happy with the way both of these have turned out. So as you can see there, both the high pressure spray paint and the low pressure spray paint worked really well for making spray paint art. It may be just the case when you buy your high pressure spray paint that it comes with a fat cap. If that's the case, just swap the cap to a skinny cap. That way you'll have more control over the paint, and it'll reduce the flow of paint coming out of the can. And moving on to the low pressure spray cans, when you buy them, pretty much most of the time they come with a skinny cap anyway, so you don't really need to change the cap on them. So the last thing I'm going to do is give them a clear coat. This one wouldn't need a clear coat because it's a high gloss spray paint anyway, but with this one being a semi-gloss spray paint, I'm going to give it a clear coat, and I'm just going to give it a bit of a clear coat here so I can sign each of the paintings. So what we'll do is we'll just give a clear coat and we'll spray from side to side. It also makes the colours pop back more, because using a semi-gloss spray paint, the colours don't shine as well. So when you add this gloss clear coat over the top, it makes the colours pop out again. So that's a clear coat on that. Like I said, you don't have to give this a clear coat because it's already high gloss anyway, so it's got a glossy finish. But because I want to sign a painting using the palette knife, this paint's dry now, so this won't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a clear coat anyway. Because if a clear coat in the corner, it won't look right. So I'm just going to give it a quick clear coat, same from side to side. But like I said, you don't need to give this Montana White a clear coat. But using a clear coat will also protect the painting as well. So I'll sign that one there. And I'll sign that one there. So I'll just give you a closer look at each of these paintings. So I hope you found the information in this video helpful and enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like and share the video. And also, which one do you think turned out the best? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you're a new visitor to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell notification. It'd be very much appreciated. And once again, thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope to see you all in the next spray paint art video. Have a great day, take care, and bye for now.